his time is a lot more expensive than mine is, believe it or not. First of all, sorry y'all haven't seen a whole lot of me the last few days. My wife has COVID, no symptoms, but my dad told me if I go to work, I have to quarantine in my office. So that's why I've been sitting in my office for a week just with nothing to do. So sorry about that. I hate to not see you guys that much, but anyway, everybody's fine. I'm fine. I'm negative. It's no big deal. But that's why I've been AWOL for the last week. Okay, so Sellchology is a training program that we've been using. We've been on the program for about a year and a half. But for the last 6 months with the hurricane and all that, we haven't made it a priority. No one's really done it. So we just called Jonathan up and asked him to do kind of a relaunch with us and get back fresh. For you guys that have been with us, it'll just be kind of a reminder of why we do what we do. And if you new guys, it'll be a starting point. So I'm just going to take 2 minutes. Jonathan Dawson is a guy that I found, I don't know, 4 years ago from a Facebook group that Corey Barron got me started on. And I started following his Facebook group and just kind of listening to some of his programs and stuff and his ideas. And I've always really felt like, and I hope I've exemplified this, y'all. Hopefully y'all don't say, well, no, he's nothing like that. The why has always been really important to me. Why we do what we do, why we make the decisions we make. I feel like I've made it a point to, if I tell you to do something, have a backup reason for it. I try to not be a boss. I try to not use the dad line, the because I said so line. I try to help you guys understand why we're doing the things we're doing, why I say to do this instead of this, and then the flip side of that is why the customers do what they do. And if you can understand why they do what they do, then you can know how to deal with that appropriately and effectively and not make things better, not worse. So the why of sales has just always been very interesting to me and also very important to the way I lead the organization. So when I found Sellchology is not just a clever, it's a portmanteau. I'm sure Jonathan will tell you all this, but of psychology and selling. And it's all about that. It's all about, to me, from listening to the programs and stuff, to me, I see a lot of that. Why are they doing the things they're doing? How do they think? How do customers think? Why are they making the decisions they make? Why do they put up the walls they put up? And then also, why do we do the things we do? Why do we work deals the way we do? Why do we present numbers the way we do? Why do we, investigate? Why do we prospect the way we do? So it's a lot about why. So why is really the reason why I chose Sellchology for our training program. I've been following him for 2 or 3, 4 years, something like that. I think it's nothing's perfect. Nobody is exactly what is perfect for you or you or you or you or you. One reason, because you and you and you and you and you are different. So I'm not saying that everything Jonathan says is absolutely perfect. He's a genius, do exactly what he says. But I mean, he is, obviously. But there's a large overlap.
I only say that you only can't say that because you don't know me that well.
I don't know you well enough to know that. But there's a huge overlap of the way I see sales and the way he sees sales. So that's why I've chosen this program for us to learn, because it's going to be the most consistent with what I think we need to be doing in our community. It's the most consistent with our values as a company. So anyway, that's just a little bit about why I chose Sellchology. And now I'll flip it to you, and you can kind of just relaunch the program and pick up where I left off and tell me what I said that was wrong or whatever. Go from there.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge what you've all been through with the hurricane and that season that for some was obviously more traumatic than others, but many of you were directly impacted and or indirectly impacted through the relationships of people that were directly impacted. And so I just want to acknowledge the fact that you went through a time that was a challenging time. You went through it during a time that was already challenging on its own with the pandemic and COVID. So I just want to say kudos to you if you've made it, if you've survived, and for those of you who found a way to thrive, I want to say kudos to you as well. You've done something spectacular and something worth acknowledging and appreciating. So I want to say it's good to see you. I'm glad you made it. Now, that being said, today and in this little conversation we're about to have, there's a couple goals that I have that I'd like to share with you. Number one is I've got Michael Gonzalez on the line with me, and he's now been assigned as your new performance and engagement manager. And I'd like to have a moment where he can introduce himself, give you a little bit of his context for who he is and his role with your relationship to Sellchology and with your goals for 2021. We're at the beginning of a year, and it is kind of psychologically the time of year where people assess last year and set goals for the future and try to ask, how am I going to make 2021 different / better than what I had in 2020? What am I going to do differently? Who am I going to become that'll be different at the end of this year. And so as we're in the beginning of the year, it's appropriate to reevaluate and to relaunch Sellchology for you as a corporation, as a company, as an organization, as people, individually and collectively. So I'd like to start by giving the microphone over to Michael. He's going to give you guys a little bit of an orientation there so that you can become familiar with him and his relationship he'll try to develop with you over this next year. And then I'd like to get into some things that I think will add value and help you in 2021. So Michael, take it away.
Hello, Lake Charles team. How are you all? Hope you're doing great. Hey, I'm excited to be working with you guys and gals. I won't bore you with a lot of, how long I've been in the business, but what I will tell you is that I met Jonathan 7 years ago and I was in sales, and my career changed dramatically after I went through his course. I went from sales to the sales floor to floor manager to finance manager and to the sales desk, all in a short period of time because of what Jonathan taught me. And once I saw an opportunity to help other people, other salespeople, the way Jonathan helped me, I had to jump on it. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you take your sales career to the next level. And I want you guys to, at any time you need help navigating through the course, don't hesitate to give me a call, a shout out, and I'll be glad to help you any way I can. So that's my role here, is to help you become familiar with Sellchology and to implement those techniques to take your game to the next level. I'm excited and I can't wait to help you guys.
I appreciate that. And so with that being said, I want to just take a moment and give you some backstory context to Sellchology as a way of reintroducing to you not only what I'm going to try to do for you, but some of the resources that you have and some things you may not even be familiar with because it has been several months since some of you have been able to see the platform and some of the tools. So let me start with very broad picture here very quickly. So first of all, yes, Sellchology is selling through psychology, and I've had the unique privilege and pleasure of working with some of the best salespeople in the world. In fact, maybe you know this from following some of the work I've done on social media, but I recently am the co-founder with two great salespeople. I'm the co-founder of the Pinnacle Society and the Pinnacle events and programs. The Pinnacle Society was created with a mantra that says it's no longer lonely at the top. The Pinnacle Society members, we just looked at the numbers and we looked at a small segment because we couldn't get everybody on the stream at the same time, but we had 22 people who were on our call from last week. And out of the 22 salespeople, our average on the call was close to 40 units per person as an average, with almost something like $250,000 a year annual income. Now that obviously is an average, right? And that average gets pulled by different directions, just like every average does. But in that network, we have people who were regularly selling 30, 40, 50, 60 cars a month last year. We have a gentleman who did 565 cars, who's part of the Pinnacle Society, did it all without any social media of any kind. No social media. In fact, the first video he's ever done was the video he sent to us to submit himself into the Pinnacle Society. Was the first time he's ever shot a video of any kind. So he's never sent a video to a customer. He's never done a video walk around, doesn't do anything on social media, Instagram, Facebook, none of it. And he sold 565 cars last year. So I think there's some things that we could all learn from somebody who did that with nothing. I have another salesperson who actually sold less cars. He sold 444 cars. But he did it almost entirely self-generated business. The whole thing was self-generated. People coming in asking for him personally. I have salespeople in the network who are selling 300 plus cars a year and only work 4 days a week. One of our guys, he sold just under 300 cars. He sold like 283, I think his number was. 283 cars last year and only works 3 days a week, the whole year. 3 days a week. That's all he works. So how do they do that, right? How in the world does somebody get to the point where they're consistently producing at 40 or 50 cars a month all the time? How do you do it where you have a schedule or a flow of traffic where you can control your customer base at the level where you can go to a 4-day work week or a 3-day work week and still sell 25, 30 cars a month, working only 3 or 4 days? How do you do it? How do you do it? Everybody wants to know how to crack that code, right? How do you build a business where you're truly celebrated instead of merely tolerated? How do you build a business that works as hard for you as you seem to work for it? How do you create something like them? Well, everybody wants to know that, but I think what you have to start with is you have to start with the why. Why is your business the way it is now? Why is your current traffic flow what it is? Why is your current percentage of self-generated business what it is? Why are you stuck right now? And so if you want to grow, you also have to have a really compelling reason why. Why are you going to change in 2021? Why are you going to increase your business? Why is it important for you to figure it out? Why must you? Why must you build a business where you're celebrated instead of merely tolerated? Why must you change? Because if you don't have a compelling reason why, you're likely not to do anything that you must do, right? You're not going to do anything to change if you don't have a good reason. And so the same thing that is true for us is the same thing that's true for the customer. Why would the customer decide to spend the money today instead of waiting? Why would they stop shopping? Why will they buy from you instead of someone else? Why would they keep their appointments? The why drives behavior. And so what I want to study is the why. And what I want to help you with Sellchology is help you better understand the why behind the process, the why behind the buy. Why does somebody buy? Why don't they buy? Why do they say what they say? Why do they do what they do? And so that's been my passion, is to help people understand the psychology behind the process. Because I think most training out there falls into two categories. If you've been in the business for a while and you know this is true, then you've been to training classes where somebody is really trying to force their word tracks and scripts down your throat. They want you to become a parrot of them. They want you to repeat after them and become a robot. And by the way, managers do this too, because we're in kind of a shortcut mode ourselves. In the middle of the deal, in the heat of the deal, we say, hey, go say this, go tell them this. And that's a shortcut that's natural. All of us do that. We just say, just go do what I'm telling you to do. But the truth is, and you know this is true, if I tell you to go say something and you don't understand why, you're likely not to buy into the idea. In fact, 2 steps and 2 floor tiles later, you'll re-change it, you'll reinvent it, you'll come up with something else, and you'll go down to the customer and you'll say some other version of it, because if it's not yours, how do you deliver it authentically? And so I found that to be a common struggle, that managers would say to me, I can't get my guys to do these things, and I can't get them to do these things. And I said, well, stop trying to make them do it your way. Instead, help them understand and help them own why things work. And if I can show you processes and patterns, and if I can show you psychology and principles, if I can show you those and show you why they work, your level of buy-in should go up. I think this is also generally true in psychology. Again, I think we all recognize this. Most of you would understand this is true, is that when somebody builds something, when somebody creates something, when somebody owns something, when you do it, when you build it, create it, or own it, when it's yours, you treat it differently than something that's just given to you. I think, if you have a teenage kid and you just give them a $30,000 car, be careful what they're going to do with it. But if they had to start mowing lawns at 12 and you were willing to match them 50% maybe, but and then they had to buy their first cash car for $4,000, I tell you, they'll wax that $4,000 cash car they bought more than they'll wax the $30,000 car you gave them. We know this is true. It's basic psychology. So this is also true then for you as a business person in sales. If you will build it, if you create it, if you own it, you'll care about it differently. So through Sellchology, what I want to do is I want to teach you how to build a business. I want to teach you how to create word tracks. I want to teach you how to own your day. Because if you'll own your day, if you'll create your processes, if you'll build your business, then you're going to take care of it differently than if everything's just kind of given to you. And so Sellchology kind of gives you the principles and the pattern, the psychology. I want you to understand kind of how things work in the background, why they work in the background. And then what I want to do is I want to honor your unique personality. Like I mentioned a second ago, a lot of training is kind of heavy script based and structure based and go repeat after me. But there's another kind of trainer out there, the guy or gal who's highly personality based, and they want you to walk like them and talk like them and look like them and act like them and sound like them and be like them. And if you watch their training, you kind of get the impression that to be truly successful, I have to basically be not me, but I have to become you. You're telling me basically the secret to success is I got to act like you. And I don't believe that's true at all. I can tell you this because I work with so many top performers. When you're around so many high-level people, what you really realize very quickly is they're not all the same. The personality of Ali Reda, the #1 salesperson in the world, who, by the way, last year finished with 209 sales in December, 209 cars in December alone. Okay, that was his December month. He did 209. He hit a personal best. His previous best was 202. So he now is at 209. That's his new record for a month. He also set a new record for a daily sale volume. His previous record was 31 cars in a day. He's now at 32. His personal best record was he sold and delivered 32 cars in a single day. When you're around people like this, these are the Usain Bolts of the car business. These are the LeBron Jameses. These are the people that just do incredible things at an incredible level. They're still human beings, but they're superhumans in the sense that what they produce is phenomenal, right? When you get to hang out with people like Ali, and then you get to hang out with somebody like Frank Graniti, who last year did 1,325 cars last year. So that's a slight above average of 100 cars a month. So you see, they're different personalities. They're not all the same. You know, there's so many ways to be successful in this business. Each one of you individually and uniquely has already been given all the gifts, talents, and resources you currently need to be successful. It's within you. And you don't have to fundamentally change who you are, but you're going to have to adapt some of your behaviors. You're going to have to adapt some of your thinking, but your personality is going to be you. Like when I think about, for example, Dave Evans, you know, who I met several years ago. He was 31 years in the car business, 31 years selling cars before he found Sellchology. And he said to me so many times, he said, John, I wish I had found you 30 years ago. Where were you 30 years ago? This would have changed my life. But he had never crossed the $100,000 mark, even though he'd been selling cars for 31 years. He'd never made the six-figure number. He'd never hit 100 grand. And his first full year on Sellchology, fully embracing, this is a 60-something-year-old guy, fully embracing what I was teaching, he did 180 his first year. 180, $180,000. And I got from 31 years, not even cracking 100. And here's what's exciting. I talked to him earlier this year, and last year, 2 years ago, so that would be 2019, technically. 2019, he did $223,000 selling cars. $223,000 selling cars from a guy who just a few years ago, literally just 5 years ago, had never made even 100. What's possible is way more important than what's normal. What's possible is way more important than what's normal. And what we tend to do, because it's the very natural thing, and this is basic psychology, we look to the left and we look to the right to see what's normal. And we measure ourselves against the left and the right. We say, well, I'm at 13 cars for the month right now. What's everybody else at? Okay, he's at 8, she's at 9. Okay, I'm doing pretty good. What you don't realize is there's someone else in the country right now who's got 50 cars out right now. You have 13, they have 50. So what are they doing different than you? How are they arriving at that? Why is their number so much different than yours? When you come to the end of the month and you go, how did I do right now? Oh, I'm at 26. That's a great month. And I'm not knocking. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not a great month, but I'm saying, is it great simply because you look to the left and right? Or is it great because relative to your actual potential, you maximized your potential? Because to the salesperson selling 26 right now, what if you should be selling 45? If you should be selling 45, then 26 is not that great. It's not that great at all. And so what I want to do is I want to give you, through Sellchology, I want to give you the resources and tools to kind of unlock your potential. And so in the university, we're going to cover 4 major skill sets within the Sellchology University platform. 4 skill sets. And I'd like you to take a second right now, and as I'm describing these, I want you to think through to yourself and think about which of these 4 areas really needs attention and focus in 2021 for me to get that next level for my family and my finances. So the first thing we talk about in Sellchology University is we cover the sales process, the sales experience for the customer. Everything that has to do with the psychology of selling. So moving the customer from the greeting to the close and delivery, and doing so efficiently and effectively. Understanding why customers give us objections that they do, and why some of our responses are causing more conflict than they are causing connection. So we want to look at that and walk through the sales process and understand the fundamentals of the psychological principles. Now, I'm going to encourage you and ask you to guard yourself a little bit here. One thing that we do, and this is psychology here, one thing we do as humans, this is not you personally, it's every human being. As we hear something, and as long as it makes sense to us, our brain tells us we understand it. And if our brain tells us we understand it, then our brain thinks we know it. And this is something that everybody goes through. You'll hear something and you go, oh yeah, I understand that, therefore I know that. And your brain kind of pacifies you at that moment and tells you you know it. But knowing something and truly having discernment, which is the ability to apply wisdom, are 2 different things. So there's a lot of people who know things but don't actually do things, right? There's plenty of like business teachers and college universities right now who teach classes on business who've never ran one, right? They don't know what it takes to create $1 million business, but they all teach classes on business. They understand business. So they know business, but they don't really know business. And I think a lot of salespeople do this to themselves because this is a human nature trait. You'll watch some of the modules on the university and you'll go, oh yeah, I understand that. Therefore I know that. And if I know that, I'm good. But the real question is not, do you understand it, know it, but can you apply it consistently and get results from it? If you can't do that, then no, you're not good yet because there's no change. So Sellchology of Sales is the first curriculum, and you're going to learn through that process how to identify the patterns through the sales experience with the customer that help you move the customer along more effectively. Then you go to the next tier of content, and there's content on people skills. And it's going to all be about connection and communication and skill sets and people skills, relating to people, building rapport, understanding different temperaments, personality styles, the way people, why some people act certain ways and other people are easier to work with. Within that, I've created new content that I've dropped in there on how to deal with customers who are tough negotiators, right? How do you deal with that grinder who's just got a completely unrealistic expectation? I've got new content on that. I've got new content in the platform that we're talking about in the area of marketing. There's some new marketing stuff I've dropped recently. So that's another segment that you're going to get access to, is the Sellchology of Marketing, where we're going to have stuff on video use now, because some of you do want to use more video, but you're like, I don't even know how to start. I don't even know how to shoot a video properly. So I've got a whole series on video there that's been downloaded into the system, so you have access to that. So you want to check that out for sure. I also have stuff on credit challenge buyers that I've dropped in there because I think that's a big new wave of customer opportunities we're going to see even more of due to the pandemic and job losses. So you got to be really prepared to how to navigate the credit challenge buyer the best. So there's new content that I've dropped in there since you guys have been off the program for a bit. You want to check out the credit challenge buyer stuff. That stuff's so cool. The stuff I teach in that is so cool that a salesperson literally got a tattoo on his body of my SWAT technique. He actually had SWAT tattooed on his arm because my SWAT technique has transformed his life and his business, added over $100,000 to his income. He's like, I got the tattoo of it because it changed my life so much. So there's some stuff in there as well. So you have stuff on sales skills, stuff on people skills, stuff on marketing. There's some stuff on life skills, goal setting and time management, and staying organized and staying focused, so you make sure that your day is giving you the best value in return for your time. So that's in there as well. So we really try to give you all the resources from my studies of top performers. And I say, what is it that makes them so successful? Why do they win more than they lose? Why do they win more than other people? And what I found is the reason why they win is 4 main things. They're mastering their sales process. They're mastering their customer connection process. They're mastering their marketing. They're mastering their mindset. And when you master these 4 things, literally, almost anything is possible. The standard has been set. There's a car salesman last year who made $1 million in commissions. $1 million in commissions last year. He's my friend, and I've seen the checks. And so the standard is set. If $1 million selling cars is possible, wow, what else is possible? So let's keep going, let's keep growing. So inside the university, there's content for you like that. But I want to give you another resource very quickly that I want to make you aware of, and that is the resource of the coaching group. A resource that many of you missed out on, and I feel burdened for you because your lack of awareness of what's happening in the coaching group has literally cost you money. And I don't just mean figuratively, like I'm going to show you how to make money. Like actual real cash dollar bills were given out in the coaching group over the last several months. And I know, because I know who got the money and who didn't, and I know who qualified and who didn't, and I know that you guys didn't get the money. And so I peeled out almost, it was like just shy of $15,000 in cash prizes over the last few months. 15 grand ending out the year. The biggest one person won at one time was, I want to say $1,800 or something. One person won $1,800 just themselves. And here's what's crazy. All these things, all these prizes and stuff like that are happening inside the coaching group. Like some of them are like, hit the like button. It's like, hit the like button. I'm going to send somebody $500 because all I'm trying to do is drive a behavior. I'm trying to drive attention and a behavior that the being in the group will give you access to resources and tools you just need to know about. So let me show you what I mean. Let me hit share screen real quick, and then we will take some questions and comments and stuff from you guys. But let me kind of go here and make sure that this pops up. I think it's popping up now. So a couple things I want to show you very quickly is here's the group. It's called the Sellchology University Private Coaching Program. If you're on Facebook and you don't know for certain that you're a member of the group, I want you to get out your phone right now. Go ahead and get out your phone if you're not 100% sure. Get out your phone and go to the Facebook search bar on your app and type in Sellchology University Private Coaching Group and ask to join. Michael's standing by and will let you in the room right now. He'll let you in the room right now. So go ahead and ask to join. Sellchology University Private Coaching Group is what you have to type into the search bar. And so that'll help you get into the group. Now, once you're actually in the group, once you're a member of the group, I want to help you navigate the group a little bit. I see some requests coming in right now, so thank you. Please do that. But what I want to show you is a couple of things here. And in fact, I want to take the newest member of your team. So I'm going to ask you to, let me hear from the newest member of the team. Who's the youngest, newest member of the team, Corey?
We're newest.
Who's the newest?
Newest is Ricky.
Ricky, come on over here. Walk up to the camera for me, Ricky. Come on down. Welcome to The Price is Right. All right. You can squat down, Ricky. That's fine. There you go, so I can see you. Hey, buddy. Good to meet you. Hey, Ricky. Newest to the car business or just newest to the group?
Newest to this group.
So you've been in the car business before?
Correct.
Fantastic. How long have you been in the business?
5 years.
Fantastic. So, Ricky, I want you to imagine that this page that I'm on right now is a Google for automotive. Okay? And inside here is almost any answer you need for anything to help you build your business in 2021. I want you to think of an area of your business you'd like to improve in 2021, and I'm going to type it into our search bar here. What do you got for me? Give me an area that you'd like to work on in 2021.
Repeat business.
Okay. So I'm just going to type in repeat business like that, and I'm going to hit search. Now, watch what happens. Here's a post that just showed up right at the very top, right? And it says here, question about self-generated and repeat business. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now you see another post right here. And this one also has the term repeat business in this one here. Then you see another post right here. And it says, see, this one's also got the word repeat business on it. Then it says here, you're getting referrals to keep repeat customers coming back to you. See, there's another one right there, right? So what I'm showing you right now is just typing in the word repeat. You're going to pull up all these posts where someone has asked questions about developing their repeat or referral business, and they're wanting to know how to do it. So here's one. Over 90% of my business is repeat, referral, and self-generated. Here's a few examples, right? So here's one here. It says you want to get more referrals and keep your repeat business coming back to you. So all these posts here and the comments inside of them are all on that topic you've just asked about, which is how do I generate more repeat business? So that's how the process works. Now, let me get another topic from you that you'd like to explore. Give me something else.
Sellchology. I'd just like to know about Sellchology.
Well, that's easy. Everything in here is Sellchology. So now give me a skill set, some sort of skill set you want to work on. Something. Remember, I talked about sales skills, people skills, life skills, and marketing skills. So pick one of those categories and kind of think of something specific to a category.
Marketing skills and Facebook ads.
Okay, so I'm going to go Facebook marketing. Right? Look at this. Boom. Facebook marketing. Right? So here's a guy, he says, Facebook marketing for the win. Who else is seeing self-generated leads like this? So that's a post on that. Here we go. Building a Facebook presence, starting your own Facebook contests. Here's a post on that. Right? So all these posts here are all related to Facebook and marketing. And so what you're going to do, my friend, is you're just going to use the group as a Google for business, and you're going to type into here anything that you want to learn about related to your business right now, and just type it into the search bar and search for that. And then you're going to find posts and comments and resources all related to the topic that you're looking for. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now, Ricky, I'm going to show you something else here real quick. I'm going to use you as my guinea pig since you're newest to the group here. So from the main page that we were just on, the other one I want you to look for is I want you to look for what's called the files section. Okay, now this is best to do from a desktop, but you can do this from mobile as well. And you can click on the Files tab. Now the Files tab is going to have over 100 unique files in here based on different things that salespeople or managers have asked for or who have gotten value from. So there's over 100 documents in this room right now that you could pull up, and all kinds of things from how to set up preferred purchase programs, which are programs that you can set up for local businesses where you can become the official salesman to an entire business or community. Stuff on mindset, like 4 areas we create limiting beliefs in. Here's a trade versus sell comparison document that you can use when your customer says, maybe I'll just sell my car on my own. Here's a service feedback card for prospecting service customers and driving more traffic from service department. Here's how to know your buyer during a recession. Here's a guest sheet with the SWOT technique built into it, which is your customers who are in credit challenge situations. Here's a guest sheet you can use just for that. Here's how I'm spending my time document for time management. I mean, there's so many tools in here. It's really ridiculous. Here's a referral request form for asking more referrals. Here's how 50 video ideas for creating more videos. Here's inbound and outbound phone call sheets. Here's 16 of the most powerful voicemails you can leave a customer. Here's orphan owner letters for prospecting orphaned owners. Man, here's some more stuff. Let's see. Here's a how to effectively prospect family members of the customers you sell cars to. Look at this, 20 different applications for video emails, 15 unique Facebook contests. Shoot, man, I could keep going. Look at this. Time management and organizational sheets to help you manage your time. Let's see, let's find some more. Look at this, 101 ways to get more engagement on Facebook, over 200 prospecting tools, tips, and techniques, objection handling and closing document to help you manage your objections better. Shoot, man, pick a topic. It's in here, and someone, either myself or one of my students, has created a file for you that you can use inside here. Here's a payoff sheet with the payoff technique built into it for maximizing gross on deals. 10 things to remember about negotiating. Man, so many wonderful resources, and they're all inside this file section. Many of them are downloadable and editable files, so you can customize them to your own business. You want a newsletter? Boom, there's a file in there for creating your own newsletter. It's all already built for you. You don't have to do it on your own. And then the other thing I want to stress to you is just the ability to ask a question and post a discussion yourself. So inside the group, if you want to, you know what you can do? You can just go into the group and you can just start a discussion. So you can ask the group a question. Just create a post and say, hey guys, I'm this year working on X. I'd like to know your one best strategy for me to get my loyal customers to come back to me, to grow my repeat business. What's your one best strategy for how you keep repeat customers loyal to you? And you could ask the group that and get feedback real time from myself, my team, and my top students who are in this group. So I just bring this to your attention because I want you all to realize that this is another amazing resource that's available to you. And of all the places to be online, if you think about all the time you spend online, how many places do you spend time online that are literally specifically designed to grow your income, grow your business, and give you freedom? On top of that, how many of the places online that you spent time specifically will pay you $1,000 for hitting the like button and being one of the people who hit like? I mean, I don't know of another place to spend time online that's got that much value and that much practical application for your business. So I want to make sure everybody's a member of the group and that you're all active. Make sure you set your notifications within the group. If you are a member, set notifications to all posts. That's important. Let me tell you why. You see, Ricky, what happens a lot of times is somebody may join the group, but they don't change their notifications. So they don't say all posts. So then what happens is, unfortunately, is somebody drops something of value that could be really important, like literally could be the thing you need that day to help you close a car deal, and you didn't see it because you didn't get notified. The other thing that could happen is sometimes I'll drop a thing in there like a contest. I'll say, the first 50 people who leave a comment in this, I'm going to send them $50. Well, all you had to do was say, send me my money, and type that in the comment, and you could be one of 50 people that wins $50. It takes you 3 seconds to do it. The problem is if your notifications aren't set, you don't even know about the offer. So when I do these contests where I say, you know, here's $1,000 prize, and I'm literally sending people, I'm just texting them money, sending them the money. If you don't even get notified, you don't even know about it. So set your notifications for the group, get access to the resources. Inside the group also, there's a media vault. Inside the media vault, there's videos if you want some additional videos, some training. Here's some role playing happening at the store. Here's some role playing happening at the store. You can literally sit in on role play examples, and you can see inside here. This is one of the giveaways I was doing recently. But there's content in here, there's training in here, and so you can catch some of that. Again, there's no such thing as downtime when you're a member of Sellchology. There's no such thing as downtime. Here's an interview between me and Ali Reda. Ali Reda, that's the #1 salesman. That's the guy who did $1 million last year selling cars. So you can catch that interview with me and Ali if you want to right there. But anyways, but lots of great stuff inside here, and it's all designed to help you and your business. So I'm in the media section if you didn't hear what I said there. I don't think I was sharing the screen at that time, actually. I apologize. I thought I was sharing screen, but I don't think I was now. Let me just hit share real quick. I was talking about it, and you're all just sitting there going, I have no idea what he's even talking about. I'm not even looking at what he's talking about. Sorry, let me show you real quick. So here's the media vault. So you hit media, and then it pulls up here, photos, media, albums. Here's albums. Check this out. Here's examples. Salespeople want to know about branding examples, community marketing examples. Boom, they're all in here as well. So you can see what salespeople are doing for marketing themselves, examples of flyers, programs, coupons they get from local businesses. Right, all kinds of cool stuff is inside there too. One of my students recently messaged me and he said, "Hey John, I want to do that coupon thing that you do that I see, because one of my students got $60,000 in free merchandise from local businesses given to him. $60,000 in free stuff given to him so that he could turn around and give them back to his customers in the form of coupons and stuff." I'll show you real quick here so you can see what I'm talking about. So look at these like stacks and stuff here, right? Here's a stack of Chick-fil-A coupons. Here's a stack of car washes. So this is a $14 value car wash. Okay, he got 500 of those. So whatever that is, that's 500 times 14. You do the math. I don't know what that is. Free breakfast sandwiches here. These ones here. This is Red Lobster. These are $10 Red Lobster cards. Okay, he got 500 of those. That's $5,000 in free Red Lobster. He got 500 of them. And anyways, learning how to do that is inside the group. Happy to show you guys how to do all that too. So anyway, so that's a snapshot of the group. That's a snapshot of the university, what we're doing for you guys. And now I just want to open it up to maybe some Q&A. If anybody has a comment, a question, a concern, a thought, hope, dream, fear, observation, compliment that you'd like to share. Ricky, you can go back to your chair. Thanks for playing along with me, man. I appreciate you. And let me hear from you though, real quick. Let me hear what. Let me hear from somebody in the room. Let me hit the spotlight real quick here, spotlight, so I can see everybody. I'd like to hear. Like I rattled off a bunch of stuff. Can you raise your hand real quick and just say, "Hey, John, I really need help with something," and then tell me what you need help with? I'd like to hear from one or two people who are looking to make 2021 a better year for their families. Who's got something? Yeah, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, Brian, I'm one of the managers.
Hey, Brian.
I think help would be more consistent with training for the whole group.
Yeah, absolutely love that. In fact, Brian, inside the Sellchology University content, inside the management curriculum, we just dropped it, and I think the email just went out. We just dropped a whole series of content specifically on best practices for training for management. So I did an interview with some of my top stores, and I asked them, how are you producing not only the high training volume, but these record-breaking months? Like, I mean, listen, I just need to let you know, there are stores that are literally, like one of my stores added 1,500 units in a year to their volume. 1,500 more cars sold in a year. They didn't do that. I mean, the thing that changed, so they went from selling like $350 a month to selling, $450 a month, basically. They added 100 units a month to their average, their store average. I mean, how does a store grow by that kind of volume? How do you go from having where your top guys are floating in the 20s to now you have a whole team of people hitting the 40s? I mean, imagine lifting the lid like that. Imagine if the new standard in your store right now was not, 27, 28, but if it was 42, 45, and your top people are now in the 40s and they suck the rest of them up, because that's what happens. So when you take this concept of the lid, right? If you've got if your top right now is 25 units, then what will happen is everybody will tier from there. So if the top 3 people are in the 20s, then what happens is the next tier of people are going to be in the mid-teens. Then you're going to have the next tier of people that are going to be cracking into the low 10, 12. What happens then is when you pull the top up, like when you get from 25 as the new top, from the old top to now let's say 40 is. Well, you're not going to, if you were the middle person before, and when they sell 25, you sold 17, you'd be like, but if the top people now sell 45, you're not going to stay at 17. You'd be like, well, what the heck? If they can do it, I can do it. So I asked all my top dealers, I said, what are the things you do that gives you the edge when it comes to training consistently and helping your team grow? And we just dropped that content inside the university, and I'd love for you to check it out, Brian, because there's a lot of great stuff in there for you. And Michael can get you, where to find that for sure. All right, let me hear anybody else. Anybody else, comment, question, concern, something, in 2021. Love to hear from you. This is a chance to be strategically selfish. You got to remember, I work with people who make, $250,000 a year every day or every year selling cars and more. I've got some stuff I picked up from them. I'd love to give you an advantage. What do you need help with? Talk to me. Yeah, back row. Yeah, go ahead, my friend. You're going to have to come up here. I can't hear you, especially with a mask. I'm sorry. Thank you. What do you got for me, boss?
So I'm looking for different ways to improve my prospecting.
Okay.
So I looked it up. I did what you said, and I looked it up on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
I started taking a bunch of notes. I know you can't really see that, but started taking a bunch of notes. But do you have any tips and ways that I can improve my prospecting?
Yes. So I'm gonna pull up a post real quick. So did you actually type prospecting into the search bar?
Yes.
So you probably found this post here.
All right, it was a really long post.
Yep. This is the one you probably found right here.
Yeah, that's everything I copied down in my book. So
Yeah, exactly. So it says, I often get messages from salespeople asking for help with prospecting and marketing, like you just did. So one thing to say is, okay, well, what are you actually looking for? Because when somebody says prospecting, there's a lot of things you can do when it comes to prospecting today. So what I would need you to do is put a little bit of thought into what you think you mean by prospecting. And then from there, you can actually look here. Here's some examples. Watch. Here's some examples right away. How can I get my name out and generate more opportunities, right? So here is the first tip right there. That's the first one. Here is the second tip right there. Here is the third tip right there. So what I would encourage you to do is read this post and start, actually, here's another tip right here. Read this post that's got 4 specific tips right there built into the post. And then in the comments, just drop a comment. Say, hey, I specifically want to work on XYZ, whatever it actually is. And then you'll also find that once you have a good idea of what you think you want, you should be able to search for it in the group. And then create a post about it and say, I want to work on developing my prospecting this way. What can you do for me? Let me show you an example of unique with creatives. And this is to give you an idea, guys, of what's actually possible, right? So I'm going to go hashtag carrying yard sign. All right, so this is hashtag carrying yard sign. Can you see that, Michael? Yep, okay. This is one of my students, Jay Rustenholtz, okay? So he's one of my top performers. He's part of the Pinnacle group, and he's also in the group that you guys are part of. And this is part of his prospecting strategy. If politicians can have yard signs, why can't he? So his customers buy a car from him, and then they get a yard sign. They put it up in their yard, and they let their entire neighborhood know where they just got their new car from. Some of them actually pose with the yard sign and post it out on social media. So what I'm saying with you is, what do you mean by prospecting? Because is it things like that? Or let me show you another example. Do you mean this? Hashtag Flat Clinton. Do you see these? He's got cardboard cutouts of himself that he's got placed all across town. Look at this one. This is inside a Walmart. That's inside a Walmart. Right at the entryway, right where the subway is, where you see the carpet there on the floor, that's the entryway to Walmart. So when people come in and out of Walmart, this is inside a shop, a sandwich shop. He's got these Flat Clintons all over town. Here's one at a pizza place. So that's prospecting. So, you know, his customers, when they see it, they stop and take a picture with it and tag him. So are you looking for that kind of prospecting? Is that what you mean? Or are you looking for a different kind of prospecting? Let me show you what I mean. Let me go here. See if I can find it, find the post that I want. Here we go. Are you talking about this?
No, it's one per person. One per person.
So what you're looking at here is this is the food challenge, okay, at Roscoe's Pizza. Okay, this is Clinton Becker is the salesman who created the Clinton Pizza. He's also got the Clinton Burger. But if you finish these pizzas or these burgers at the shops, you get like all this cool stuff. But they're created by the Clinton Burger. Let me show you the Clinton Burger. These are relationships he created with local businesses that promote his brand because he's built relationships with these people. Let me show you here. Where is the Clinton Burger? Let me find one here. That's the Clinton Burger. Do you see that? Look at the size of that stupid thing. It's insane. And people come into the restaurant, people come into the restaurant and try to eat this stupid thing. And if they can eat the thing within a certain period of time, they win stuff. And then what he does is he has challenges where he challenges his customers and they have to go into the place and they have to order the burger and they have to try to eat it. And they stream the thing live. That's prospecting to me, right? He gets a lot of traffic from that. So what is prospecting to you? I don't know. And so since I don't know what it is, it's hard for me to give you specific advice, but let me just tell you, there's literally so many ways to prospect and drive traffic, which by the way, Clinton, the guy in the pictures I was just showing you, last year was his first year on Sellchology University and Coaching Group. Last year was his first year as my student, and he did 440 cars last year, 444 cars last year, his first year on Sellchology University. That's not his first year in the car business. He's been in the car business for years. In fact, he was the general sales manager at that store. He was the GSM at the same store he's now selling at. Once he got access to Sellchology University, once he realized what was possible, he actually stepped down from GSM to sales so that he could build a business using my strategies. And now he's the number one salesperson at the dealership, number one salesperson in his market, self-generates almost all of his business. Well, by the way, Jay Rustenholtz, the yard sign guy, same thing with him. That yard sign guy, he was the GSM at that store, and he stepped down so that he could have access to what I'm teaching, and he wanted to develop his business using my strategies. So I'm going to show you one more example here, and again, I'm going to be done here in a second. I just want to show you guys because I want you to realize like so many things are possible. So my buddy Clinton, copying Jay, got his own yard signs. But look at these people here. Look at this. This is a tattoo. A lady who bought a car got a tattoo of her car salesman on her arm. That's not his cousin or his sister. That's a customer who bought a car, got a salesman's tattoo on his arm. You guys got to understand, like, that's insane. You know? Here's a salesperson who created a relationship with all these bakeries in town because his branding is a piece of cake with Blake. So these bakeries give away free cake to his customers. Here's the Clinton Becker yard sign I was telling you about. You know, what you can do in today's business is so incredible if you're just determined to build a business on purpose instead of just showing up to figure out how to sell a car. So in general, my friend, I want to encourage you that there's a lot of opportunity out there. And then specifically, if you give it some thought and post in the group and say, hey, this is what I'm working on, we'll absolutely help you streamline that process. Okay.
Awesome.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, I need to wrap this up and get you guys back to work. I appreciate you coming off the floor. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I just wanted to encourage you that in 2021, my hope for you, my prayer for you, is that you'll allow me to serve you with the gifts, talents, and resources that I've compiled over 20 years of helping salespeople dominate their market. If you want to out-experience your competition, create raving fan advocates, the kind of people who will put up a yard sign and tattoo their body. Like if you want to create relationships in the community where local businesses will drive traffic to you. If you want to create a business where you're truly celebrated instead of merely tolerated, make this the year that you become a Sellchology master. Purpose within your heart that you're going to be the kind of person that I'm going to be using your examples in my next launch where I'm showing somebody what's happening over there at Lake Charles. Be that kind of person and see what you can build. And let me help you. Let Michael help you. Let the whole community help you. You don't have to do it alone. There's so many resources out there. Don't try to do this by yourself. Let us help you. So that's my mission. That's my message. I'd love to see you guys in the university. Check out the new content we have on video. Check out the new content we have on credit challenge buyers. Check out the new content that I have on dealing with the unreasonable, ridiculous offer customers. Learn the psychology of the stuff. You'll find it fascinating and helpful. With that being said, I'm going to turn it back over to Brian and or Corey, and you guys can take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Make it a great day, okay?
Thank y'all.
Bye.